Now let us look at epistemology. Epistemological debate, then, can be described as one which is centered on how we know things, or what can be considered as acceptable knowledge within a particular discipline. There are two schools of thought here, and these are rationalism, knowledge which is acquired via the use of deductive reasoning, and empiricism, knowledge which is acquired via sensory experience via the use of inductive reasoning. So, if the social world is independent, then we can explore it as a fact. If it is not, then we have to concern ourselves with understanding what it means to people. This has a distinct implication for the way we will investigate it, the research design embraced, and the data collection methods adopted. This point is illustrated more clearly if applied. Let us take, for instance, those who might embrace what we might describe as a positivist perspective. The core position of positivism is that objective facts or phenomena exist within the social world. These exist independently of human perception. Against this, positivism often embraces many of the principles of academic inquiry employed by those concerned with the natural sciences. Similarly to the ways in which the natural sciences view natural phenomena, positives view social phenomena as something which can be understood via rational thought and deduction. Put simply, positivists hold that via rational inquiry we can uncover causal laws and general principles about human nature. This philosophical position is particularly amenable to quantitative measurement. Thus, the embrace of quantitative methodologies and research tools enables the social researcher to collect facts about society which can then be statistically analysed in order to produce explanations about how the social world operates. These tools include social surveys, questionnaires, experimental research design, and systematic sampling techniques. From this we might conclude, rather crudely, that typically a positivist assumes an ontological position which views the social world as an objective one. This world is perceived to exist independently of human perception. As a result, they embrace a rationalist position, that knowledge of the world is gained via deductive reasoning, and embrace a quantitative methodology. This methodological approach enables the generation of clear patterns and causal generalizations. From looking at our pyramid, which highlights the relationship between theory and methods, we can see more clearly how the ontological position embraced at the outset influences the eventual methodology and research design taken, and in turn the data collection methods employed by the social researcher. The ontological position influences the epistemological position, which influences the research paradigm, which influences the research design, which influences the data collection methods embraced. Social research, positivist or other, however, is often concerned with exploring what we might describe as the sentient aspects of human life, such as education, work, and culture. Social constructions, particularly of this kind, are difficult to quantify and capture. Against the types of analytical difficulties we touched upon in relation to meaning discussed earlier, Wallerman questions whether or not the social world is actually something which is subjected to laws that exist independent of human actors. Furthermore, even if we can find patterns applicable to the social world, this approach often tells us little about why these patterns occur. Clearly, the social world, like the humans who construct it, is analytically slippery. Put simply, people, not as biological specimens, but as sentient beings, are different to atoms, for example. People possess consciousnesses and emotions. It is apparent that the social world is in many ways different to the natural. The natural world, for example, is subject to mathematical laws such as physics. By contrast, much of the social world is not bound by such a precise formula. It is instead influenced by people's beliefs, traditions, cultures, perceptions, and identities. The latter, arguably the most analytically slippery of all social constructs within modernity. For positivism, hard to quantify concepts such as meaning, feelings, culture, gender, race, and ethnicity are particularly problematic ontologically and in turn are problematic methodologically.